This right here is my gorgeous fiance Mia, and this video is the story of how we got engaged. So, like every time I want to see the most gorgeous girl in the world, I've got to get on an aeroplane and fly from Houston, Texas to Fort Lauderdale, Florida, because that's just where she happens to live. So, I get on the plane with my plan, the stage is set for this proposal to happen on Friday. Not everything is really that well organized because I'm not on home turf, man. Not only am I flying to Florida, but we're not even spending the week in Fort Lauderdale. We've got to drive across to Tampa. She's got a big Jamaican family, and that's where a bunch of them live. So that's where we're going for Thanksgiving. I'm just naturally anxious because I got to meet a whole bunch of new people and just traveling and just, you know how it goes. But I'm so sure about this woman. God is just granting me more and more boldness at this stage. And I'm more than ready to make this girl my fiance. So Mia, her mum, and her cousin pick me up from the airport and off to Tampa we go. Fast forward 2 days now to the day of the proposal.
We had an amazing Thanksgiving yesterday. So much food left over, and everything tasted really, really, really good. What has been your favorite part of this trip so far?
The food. You'll need to.
Wrong.
You'll need to.
Wrong answer.
I'm getting to you. So the food was the best because my favorite thing to do is to watch Mia eat. I love watching this shorty eat. First of all, and I think I'm sick in the head, I just find it kind of attractive, to be honest. I don't know why. Secondly, she getting taken care of, you know what I'm saying? Like, my girl ain't gonna go hungry for nothing. But, in all honesty, one of the highlights was the food itself. Like, it was crazy. Like, and you know what's usually so annoying about, like, when you have a big, like, feast-style meal? Is usually there's enough of everything except the meat. Like, you run out of the chicken, but there's gonna be rice left. There's gonna be pasta left, but there ain't gonna be no beef left or something. You know what I mean? But when I tell you they had probably 3 times the amount of meat that would have been the perfect amount, which is so good. And they had oxtail, they had curry goat, they had jerk chicken, they had fried chicken. I think that's all the meat.
There was oxtail, jerk chicken, curry chicken.
You already know what I had for
chicken.
breakfast this morning.
Chicken. Ham. There's also ham.
I had the goats, and there was ham, yeah. I had the goat, and I had the jerk chicken for breakfast. And I was sure not to touch the curry goat, because any Jamaican will tell you, you're going to have yellow fingers.
Yeah, it's going to
You're
stay.
going to have yellow fingers. Oh, hello. Okay. Just want to make sure I pull forward enough that I hit the yellow. Okay. Alright.
We've made it.
Gonna
Yeah.
go into this cafe. They do like breakfasty foods like donuts and waffles, and they do any kind of coffee or tea that you want. We're gonna sit down and go do that. Okay.
Sounds good.
Alright, let's do it. Get the Mia special, please. Thank you.
The what special?
A Mia special. I didn't know they had one of those. Interesting.
Where is that? Wait, where do you see the Mia special? What is that?
I don't know. I think that menu, those menus are quite different. So, do you want to sit on the bench or on the chair? So as you see me kind of fumbling through there, what had happened was a few days before I came out to Florida, I called up this cafe and I said, "Hey, what's your name?" And the person told me their name, and I said, "Are you working on Friday?" And they said yes. And I said, "Okay, great. I'm going to be there right when you guys open at 8 a.m. and I'm going to bring something for my will then almost be my fiance. I'm proposing on Friday, and I need y'all to bring this out when I say, hey, could I get the Mia special, please?" Obviously, I didn't really think about what that would look like, me asking for the Mia special with it not being on the menu, but it worked out pretty good, and I think she was quite happy.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I was quite suspicious that she had figured out that I was going to propose on this day, so I was relying on small little surprises. That's why I set up this little flower surprise, but also then when we got to this natural reserve on Apollo Beach in Tampa, I took out a couple of easels, a couple of canvases, and some paint. She's quite artsy, and I know this, so I thought this might be a nice little surprise activity for us. I have to explain mine to you, baby. So let's sit down. These two scriptures, do you know either of these scriptures off by heart? Do they ring any bells? You've heard them before, but you don't need to memorize
Give
them.
me a hint.
Okay, well, I'm gonna just read them to you, okay? Okay, so John 13:34 is Jesus saying, "A new commandment I give you, that you would love one another. As I have loved you, that you would also love one another." Okay. Ephesians chapter 5, 28 through 29. So husbands ought to love their own wives as their own bodies. He who loves his wife loves himself. For no one ever hated their own flesh, but nourishes it and cherishes it, just as the Lord does the church. Okay, so we've done a pretty good job while we date in building things off of scripture. We haven't always been perfect, but we've definitely walked through the Bible together, and I've learned how I can't, when I think about what we're about to do over the next 30, 40, 50 years, I just can't do it without scripture and without what Jesus says. And I was going to paint something more elaborate, but I was like, I don't think I've got it in me to do it. I just don't think I'm good enough at it. But I really want you to know that I'm making it my life's goal and my life's mission to love you the way Jesus has already loved me, no matter what, on your best day, on your worst day, because that's what we're entering into.
Right.
Okay? With that being said, could you stand up, please, baby?
Oh my gosh. It's gorgeous. You made the right decision in choosing this one.
Fiance?
Ah! Look at this. Guys, I'm a fiance.
You gotta start planning this wedding, huh? As soon as we got in the car, I started saying, Mia, I don't know, what are your family gonna say? Like, I'm kind of nervous. I don't know if they're all gonna approve or if they're gonna be shocked. You know, I kind of wanted to play it up a bit because another surprise that I had planned for Mia was I told her auntie 3 weeks before that we would be getting engaged, and we had been in communication so that once we had stepped out the building, she could tell everybody, first of all, get the shock factor out the way, but also set up some engagement decorations so we could take some lovely pictures and whatnot. I'm so glad Mia and I got to share this moment, just the two of us. It was a really tender, sweet moment that I'll cherish forever. But I still wanted to get her back to her family so she could be around some loving people who would be excited for her. And man, they really, really loved on her when we got back. They were so lovely about everything. It was kind of a stressor planning all this because plans changed a whole bunch, but man, I couldn't be more grateful to God for how it turned out.
Oh my God. Congratulations!
I'm gonna leave you all with a video of us dancing or Mia dancing and me figuring out what to do with my limbs. But make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. We'll speak to you soon.